You have probably heard of Mint.com. It is the #1 personal finance tracker out there that sold to Intuit for almost $200 million in 2009. When I joined the company as employee number 4, we had no product and 0 customers. I put together a marketing plan with the goal of getting 100,000 users within 6 months of launch. We ended up getting 1 million. In this video, I'm going to tell you the story of how we did that, as well as share the exact marketing plan that we used so that you can copy it for your business. By the way, stick to the end where I show you exactly how to create your own marketing plan. Let's dive in. After getting fired from Facebook, which is a story for another time, I did a bunch of random gigs. I worked in Korea, I did consulting for Scanner.com, but Dave McClure, the founder of 500 Startups, invited me to come check out this product of an unknown company called My Mint. Aaron Patzer wanted to build a tool to help people manage their finances, and he actually built a prototype by himself for the past 6 months. I saw the product and I was blown away. At the time, I was blogging on OkDork about personal finance, and I immediately saw that this could be huge. Think about it. Do you want more money? Yeah, guess who else wants more money? Everybody. And so I was excited to also use it myself because it's something I was actively doing. I said, I want to be your director of marketing, Aaron. He said, ha, you don't even know how to do marketing. Fair. But I still wanted the job, so instead of giving up, I actually put together this marketing plan that we're going to be going through today. You can see the original version, hopefully on screen, somewhere up here. And I pitched it to Aaron. He was impressed, I was hired on the spot, and the rest is what you're seeing in this video. So when Aaron Patzer hired me, we were still a super early stage startup. Number 1, we didn't know exactly who our customer was. Number 2, we didn't have a product, only a buggy prototype that Aaron built by himself. So challenge number 1 is figuring out who your or our customer was. So having a marketing plan is great. I can tell you exactly what to do, but if you're marketing it to the wrong person, no one's gonna be interested. So people interested in personal finance might sound pretty specific, but it's extremely broad. Males treat money differently than females. Families treat differently than someone that has student debt. So actually who the product could be for was really broad. So to figure it out, we interviewed a lot of different people. So we met people at coffee shops, we interviewed friends, we interviewed people that we thought would be good fits. Here are some of the questions that we asked to figure out who our customer would be. What's your current financial strategy? What do you need the most help with when it comes to personal finance? How would your ideal personal finance tool work? Very exciting, very stimulating. And some really fascinating things came out of this that helped direct how our marketing and product was targeted at. First off, most people don't do anything with their personal finances. I don't know what you do, but this actually shocked me. Second thing was that the people who did care about their finances were really young, ambitious people who are already reading personal finance blogs. They were already at the gym saying, hey, I want to be doing this stuff in personal finance, teach me more. I think what a lot of people do in marketing doing correctly is that they're trying to change behavior. Hey, come to the gym, come to the gym. No, it's much easier to help people when they're already at the places you want. Doing all these customer interviews allowed us to build our product and create a marketing message targeting specifically these people. So who are you targeting in your current business? And the more narrow you're targeting, the better. Think about any of the most gigantic companies, Facebook, Harvard students, Microsoft, super targeted developers. A lot of these companies were super niche, but for somehow every other person who's starting a business out there is like, I'm gonna go extremely broad. Good luck. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos from Uncle Noah. So the specific takeaway from this marketing was 2 key things. 1, we were gonna target us YOPOs, or young professionals, we were calling them at the time, as well as people hyper interested in personal finance. What we realized from that is that the messaging is gonna be targeting to these 2 groups of people, as well as the marketing. All marketing is at the end of the day is who and where. And so now we're like, all right, we know it's gonna be personal finance and young tech geeks. Let's go after those people. Challenge number 2. We didn't even have a product. One of the huge challenges for me as a marketer is for about a year, there was nothing to even tell people to go use. So what do you do when you don't have a product that exists? And this is a common thing I've seen in a lot of companies. My engineers are taking too long. I have to sell a prototype. Elon Musk sold a Model 3 $1 billion worth without a car anyone actually even touched. So what did I do to actually fix that problem? My plan was to build a lot of hype and collect a lot of emails and relationships around people specifically targeted in the demographics I was talking about. So here are some examples of what we did. Number 1, a newsletter. And I'm still doing this today with AppSumo.com. We didn't have a product people could sign up for, so we needed a way to start building the community and interactions. So a monthly newsletter was amazing. There's a lot of services like SendFox.com, maybe MailChimp.com, and the ways that we're actually able to get that is we had a blog, we did ads, we did a website. I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit more. We also sent a monthly financial tips newsletter to add value and stay in touch with people. By the time we launched at 10 Grams, I believe we had over 100,000 people on our newsletter excited for when we finally came out. I think a lot of times when you guys are building your businesses and trying to do marketing, it's like, let me code, make. Is there any customers out here? Anybody? Do it reverse. Get customers first. And if you don't have a product, start building relationships with either influencers or people you want to help promote, or people you eventually want to be buying your product or service. Second way that we built up an audience without having a product is content marketing. So Mint was one of the pioneers of content marketing, aka blogging, before this was even a thing. So we knew who our target customers were, and we knew that they were on personal finance blogs, so we figured, why not build the #1 place online for them to learn about personal financial advice? And that's what we set out to do. So I put together a content schedule with a bunch of articles I knew our target demographic would love. So you can actually see our content calendar probably up here somewhere on the screen. Yeah, so this is awesome. So we knew exactly, if you look at the categories on this thing, you could see we were targeting money hacks and young professionals. And we got through most of the articles that we thought would do really well at this to target that demographic. There wasn't as much SEO. This is like a little bit over 10 years ago. But the idea here is that once you know who your target customer is, now you can start writing content specifically tailored for them. One thing that I've used definitely over the years is look at the questions that these people email you, or when you're talking to them, they'll ask you a question, write that down, and that becomes content you can use on social media, blogging, or on YouTube. Two pieces I want to highlight with the content marketing is number one is consistency. And this is the part I always have to say it out loud for myself, is that we posted 2 blog posts every single week until we launched. One thing I was thinking about today with my friend Andy Beal was that success is hard work compounded by long time. And it's, yes, do something for a very long period of time and ideally keep improving and you will have success. So focus on consistency in your marketing. Another thing that was really great, AKA I did less work, is collaborations. So I would go out to people and say, hey, we have a little bit of an audience, we have a blog. Can I interview you, or do you want to do a guest post for our blog? They would give me all the information, we would promote it, they get some attention, and then we would be able to build our audience from that. So some of the results from this is that our blog became a huge driver, if not the key driver, of free traffic that was able to grow Mint to the size that we were able to sell for almost $200 million. Third thing we did before we even had a product is we sponsored super niche sites. And this is something you could still do today in different mediums. So one of the best powerful things to do as a marketer is to find underutilized or undervalued marketing channels. Facebook ads, you ever heard of them? Yeah, so has everyone else. YouTube ads, oh wow, guess what? Everyone knows about that. At the time with Mint, I noticed that a lot of these blogs didn't have a lot of ads, they didn't have a lot of sponsors. So I would email them and my subject line was, can I pay you $1,000? I ended up being able to meet and sponsor almost every single blog in personal finance. Now, most of these people wouldn't even respond to me for $1,000. The results for this is we got a ton of micro sponsorships that paid out huge ROI because they drove a lot of email signups. And the other thing that's really interesting is that they built relationships. So when you send someone money or you want to sponsor someone, they'll probably take your calls and be your friend or be able to work with you in the future. It also had a nice side effect that this built up our credibility because we're associated with the personal finance blogger, which is our targeted demographic. Guess what? They're like, oh, that guy's legit or woman's legit. Mint.com is also legit too. The thing about this is that it doesn't scale as well as Facebook ads. Like Facebook ads, you just put in the money and then it goes up if you keep spending. With this, it's harder to do that, but the ROI, meaning the amount you spend, is way higher. So one key thing that still applies today about this is sponsoring super targeted people that are not mainstream yet, you get the best deals on. This goes for TikTokers, YouTubers, Instagrammers, Twitterers, even bloggers to this day, which is not as popular. But the point I'm trying to make is that going out and sponsoring super giant ones, yeah, you'll get a lot of attention, might be good. But if you go to actually some of the up and comers, you're gonna get amazing deals and you'll get the best ROI that I've ever seen. So as you can imagine, we tried a lot of other marketing strategies, but these are some of the top 3 that were the most effective. So copy them. Start a newsletter and engage with your audience on a regular basis. Do content marketing. It doesn't have to be on blogs. It could be on different types of mediums, YouTube, podcasts-ish, Instagram, whatever that is. And 3, go and actually find people to sponsor that are not as gonna be expensive as some of these main streamers. One other kind of tiny quick tidbit that we did that I thought was really cool was we did this powered by Mint badge. So people could go sign up for Mint and say, hey, I want to find out about this product when it launches. And if you wanted priority access, you got a badge called Powered by Mint or I Want Mint that you'd put on your site. The cool thing is that people would start seeing it, then they would want the Mint badge, as well as it gave us a lot of SEO juice. So these are the things that worked for us. Let me talk to you a little bit more and we'll break down a little bit more of the marketing in Act 3, which is when we did the launch. So in terms of the launch and the success, we finally took all this audience we built, all this traffic we built, we launched at TechCrunch 40, and we had over 1 million users within 6 months, which is pretty much bonkers in terms of performance. Especially, we did a lot of marketing before we ever had a product. So one key thing to think about is, whatever business you're in right now, how can you start planting seeds for relationships and marketing even before you have the product? It's way, way better than trying to do it after the fact. So Act 4, how do you actually create your own marketing plan most importantly? If you're watching this, you probably have a business or you want to start a business. Leave a comment with what that is below. I'm going to break down briefly how you can use the same strategies that I did to grow Mint in your own business. Number 1, pick a specific goal and a time frame. I learned this from Mark Zuckerberg. I used it at Mint. I've used it at AppSumo. It works. The reason Mint marketing plan was successful is that when I was hired, Aaron said I need 100,000 signups within 6 months of launching. Very, very specific time frame, very specific objective. So for you, if you don't have a time frame, there's no sense of urgency and there's no clear thing you're trying to accomplish. So let's say you have a business and you're making $100 a month. All you have to do is say, hey, by December 31st, I want to make $1,000 a month. Now you can work backwards and say, all right, well, each month I need to make this much money and break down how do I plan on getting it. I would say that's probably the key thing to take away from the Mint marketing plan. Number 2, go talk to your customers. Call me, I miss you. Who is your customer? What actual problem are you really solving for them? What messaging should you use in your marketing? Use their language, not yours. And where are they hanging out online? Number 3, pick your marketing channels. So now you have a goal, you know who you're trying to target. What are the different marketing channels you could think you could reach these people? Is it partnerships? Is it PR? Is it YouTube? Is it podcasts? Figure out where your customers hang out and you can just ask them. This is exactly then you have to go market in their parties. So at Mint, we were really successful because we identified 2 key customers, and then we went to their marketing channels, to their personal finance blogs, to the ads that specifically targeted them. Number 4, map out and track your marketing plan. So I know that sounds super generic, but a lot of this time we overcomplicate these things. Or a lot of you, what I've noticed is that you don't actually do any of the tracking. You just kind of are like, yeah, I'm just gonna wing it, see how it goes. I know Mexico's south, I'll just drive down. So map out, hey, if I wanna get to this target, here are my expectations from these marketing channels. And when you start implementing it, one of the key things that, again, marketers as well as ourselves at AppSumo don't do always perfectly is what channels are working that I can 10x and what channels are not working I have to kill. If you're not killing some of your marketing activities, you're probably doing too many things. If you want to download the template of this marketing sheet I use for Mint, I'll put that below in the description. If you like this video, check out the video where I walk you through exactly how we built and launched our own latest product, tidycal.com, within 20 days. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you out there, and I love you.